A very plugged in Washington Commanders beat reporter made a very shocking revelation on his podcast yesterday. Ben Standig, formerly of The Athletic, currently of Substack, has predicted that Brian Robinson Jr. will be a surprise cut, stating that I'm going to guess Brian Robinson is not on the week one roster. I have no insight into that. If Jakori Croskey-Merritt is on this team, I just don't know how you're sitting him. That is a very spicy meatball to chew on, but let's talk about it. What it do? Good morning in Washington. How are y'all doing, Washington Commanders Nation? It is Thursday, August 14th, and this is the longest preseason week of our lives as fans because we don't play a preseason game this week. Tonight's going to kick off preseason week 2 in the NFL. We don't get our game until Monday Night Football on prime time, so we have to sit around and wait for any type of news regarding the team. They were off yesterday. They are back to practicing today, but it's just a walk through with some brisk pace to it. We're getting that later today. I believe that's at 11:30 a.m. But last night, right before we went live on Commanders Kings, me, Lou, Ed, and Rico, I brought this conversation to the group chat because this is a very spicy take regarding one of the more polarizing players on the Washington Commanders roster. Brian Robinson Jr. not making the team would be crazy. Like, it would be shocking. It would be jarring. It wouldn't to some people because let's call it exactly what it is. Let's have a real life conversation about Brian Robinson Jr. Brian Robinson Jr. in the fan base is split into two extremist sides. It's like the Terry McLaurin versus Adam Peters conversation where one is demonizing the GM and one is saying Terry ain't shit for not accepting whatever they're offering him. With Brian Robinson Jr., a.k.a. B-Rob, a.k.a. Brian Keith, a.k.a. Keep That Same Energy, fans either think he's the greatest running back ever and blames the offensive line for any shortcomings or any injury issues related to B-Rob, or fans think he's trash, he's a bum, he's not an NFL running back. I sit in the gray area in between those two extreme takes. I like to say I live in the real life reality era that B-Rob is an all right NFL running back, best suited to be a complimentary guy, but on this team, he's the guy. He's the running back one. You know? I don't think he starts on many teams in the league, but for this team, he's the starting running back. And I can't envision a world where he's a surprise cut candidate in the year 2025. He's in the final year of his rookie contract, his 4-year rookie contract. He is a steady Eddie, consistent guy. If there's one thing B-Rob is, he's consistent. He's going to get you 700 yards. He's going to get you 5 touchdowns. He's going to get you 4 yards a carry. None of those things are statistics to write home about, but you're going to get those consistent numbers from him. I want a 1,000-yard running back at some point in Jaden Daniels' career because it will alleviate a lot of the tension, the stress, and the rush load our quarterback has to. While Jaden Daniels is fast as hell, he's shifty, and he makes lots of plays with his leg, Jaden Daniels is built like a tree branch. I don't want him running more than he needs to and having to lead a team in rushing while being one of the best passers in the league. I would choose the opposite path of that if it existed. And when we talk about having a 1,000-yard rusher, that's not even that impressive in the Lord's year of 2025. 1,000 yards just means you ran for 57 yards a week for 17 weeks. 57, not 60, not 70. We're not saying run for 1,000 yards a week. There are Bamas running for 2,000 yards. Derrick Henry ran for 1,900. Saquon Barkley ran for over 2,000, almost got the rushing record, but they held him out of the last game of the season. I'm not even asking for one of those type of guys to fall out of the sky because Saquon Barkley's and Derrick Henry's don't grow on trees. They don't. But I do think 1,000-yard rushers kind of grow on trees. And in comes 7th-round draft pick Jakori Croskey-Merritt, a.k.a. Bill. Washington fans, including myself, see a running back that's shifty, that's decisive, that runs with vision, that turns nothing into something, and that does not go down on first contact very often. And we are salivating over the potential, over what could be in a backfield where Jaden Daniels is the quarterback. So there's a good portion of the fan base who've already packed Brian Robinson Jr.'s bags up, already put him in a moving truck, and are shipping him out of here with 1 year left in his contract. I will say, I don't expect B-Rob to be extended by the team because I'm of the thinking that you don't extend running backs unless you have one of the special 5 to 7 guys in the league. The guys that are outliers, misnomers to the running back position, a position that has been devalued significantly over the years. I don't pay running backs. You just always draft another one, keep the cycle going. Unless you get a prime McCaffrey, Saquon, Henry, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, and the list pretty much stops there. Or James Cook, who's actually hooping out there in Buffalo. He just got a contract, by the way. But I think we need to not be so extreme when it comes to Brian Keith. And he's obviously very sensitive about the situation as well. We've seen him on Twitter, what looks like subtweeting and calling out the fans a couple times. And I feel the fans that say, you know what? You keep that energy on the football field and off the injury list. So I get it. I get how people feel about it. But here's the reality of the situation. Brian Robinson's going to be on the fucking roster. Not only is he going to be on the roster, Brian Robinson is going to be your starting running back week 1. We're a committee. We are a committee. We don't have a Batman lead ace running back on this roster. I think we keep 4 running backs. I think the top 3 running backs you see on this team in 2025 is Brian Robinson Jr., Austin Eckler, and Jakori Croskey-Merritt. And I think Jeremy McNichols is too good to not have on the final roster. So whether that's dipping into the wide receiver position because there's no reason to keep 6, we're keeping 4 running backs. I can't see a world where we keep 4 running backs, but Brian Robinson Jr. is not one of them. That's your starter, guys. That's your starter. And early season B-Rob usually gets right to the shits. He usually comes out the gates fast. And we need him to stay off the injury list so we can get a consistent 17-game sample size out of him this year. Give me 850 yards this year, B-Rob. He has flirted with 800 yards every year of his career right now. And I know what this situation is going to remind fans of, but it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's very different, actually. Everybody's looking at this Ben Standig article and saying, y'all remember what happened to Adrian Peterson, right? Y'all remember when Adrian Peterson led this team in rushing 2 years in a row, and all of a sudden he got surprise released when rookie Antonio Gibson started making waves in camp back in 2020. I don't think the Adrian Peterson and Brian Robinson situations are the same. Brian Robinson's on the final year of his rookie deal. Adrian Peterson was a fossil. He was a dinosaur. Yes, he was running 4,000 yards for us. He was still giving us the jump cuts, and he was actually pretty exciting in his time here in Washington. But, Brian Robinson Jr. is 26 years old. He's still very capable, and he's having a great camp. B-Rob looks lean. He looks fast. He looks spry. He had a good joint practice session. B-Rob is a part of the fabric of this offense in 2025. I, like many fans, can be hard on B-Rob because I'm tired of seeing him on the injury list, and I'm tired of seeing him fall short. and fall off a cliff at certain parts of the season. But even I am realistic enough to know we need Brian Robinson Jr. in 2025. I can't speak for the future. I don't think there's much of a future here, but I can speak for the right now. And the right now tells me that Brian Robinson Jr. will, of course, be a part of the Washington Commanders in 2025 and beyond. Well, no, not and beyond. No, I lied about the and beyond part. Don't listen to me. But there's nothing to see here. But you know how we do on this channel. We like to have interesting and tough conversations. And this is a very tough conversation, but let's imagine, let's play hypothetical. Let's play Dreamland real quick. Brian Robinson Jr. does not make the final roster this year. And we go into a running back room with Jakori Croskey-Merritt as the starter, Austin Eckler as the number 2, Jeremy Nichols as the number 3, and if you want to keep 4, Christopher Rodriguez Jr. to be new thumper, new plotter, and new Brian Robinson Jr. What is the upside of that running back room in 2025? And what is the upside of giving a 7th-round rookie the chance to start immediately, right to it in this NFL season? What will your thoughts be of that room? Please let me know in the comments what kind of shape you think that room would be in if they went with that, because that's an interesting thought. That's a very interesting thought. And I think we need to get out of the practice of prefacing everything relating to Jakori Croskey-Merritt as a 7th-round pick. So I want you guys to think for a second of what the upside and potential in 2025 of the running back room is if we were to actually go through with Ben Standick's revelation and we cut Brian Robinson and went with JCM, Austin Eckler, Jeremy McNichols, and Chris Rodriguez if you want to keep 4. I'm going to let y'all think about that and chew on that one real quick while we hear a word from our sponsors. I've been looking to find the best deal on Washington Commanders tickets for the 2025 season, which is why I want to give the sponsor of today's video, SeatGeek, a huge shout out. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sporting events, festivals, and more. The NFL is right around the corner and MLB is in full swing. I love using SeatGeek. Recently used it, lock in my training camp tickets. Most notably, I was at the Grand National Tour with my son, Kendrick Lamar, and SZA at Northwest Stadium. SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 through 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. So look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad, plus every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And you know I had to come through for y'all using promo code RIO for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase with promo code RIO. RIO. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you again, SeatGeek, for sponsoring this video. So, in this fantasy hypothetical situation that we are speaking about right now, Brian Robinson Jr. has been released and Jakori Croskey-Merritt is the new starting running back for the Washington Commanders. What are the chances that he could get off to a Isaiah Pacheco type run and give us 700-800 yards, 5 touchdowns, and about 5 yards a carry off the rip? Because that's what 7th-round pick Isaiah Pacheco did for the Chiefs in his rookie season. Shout out to Pacheco, by the way. He's an absolute dog. He came out the gates as a rookie with 130 receiving yards on 13 catches and 830 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns off the rip. I don't think that's impossible. I think we have a better offensive line. I think a running back with vision, with speed, with agility could definitely get it done. I honestly, while I don't think Brian Robinson is going anywhere in the year 2025, I personally do think that Jakori Croskey-Merritt and company as the committee, I think he would be fine. I don't think it would be a drastic shift on the positive or negative side, but we would see more pop plays. We would see more chunk plays, and we would see a better yards per carry. I'm not saying JCM would come out the gates with a 1,000-yard season, but I don't think it would be a drastic negative or positive thing. I think if JCM got the amount of carries Brian Robinson gets, I think he could do 700-800 yards. I think he could. And that may be saying a lot about a 7th-round running back, but sometimes you know it when you see it. We didn't see him get much action versus the Patriots, but you saw it in the couple touches he had. He was met at the damn backfield every time he touched the football, always managed to still make something out of the play and not go down. Doesn't really seem to go down on first contact. He has soft hands when the ball was thrown to him and some wiggle after he catches the football. You can see the traits in practice. You hear media guys talk about it. You hear the coaches talk about it. They are excited about this player. This is not some underground player they took in the 7th round that we got to hype up like the Marcus Masons of the world in the preseason. They have plans for Bill. They have plans for him, and 2026 and beyond, I imagine he's going into the season as the starting running back. But for 2025, I want to hear from you in the comments below. How good could Washington's running back room be if they were to release Brian Robinson Jr. and crown JCM as the head of the committee with Austin Eckler, Jeremy McNichols, and maybe a Christopher Rodriguez Jr. on the roster? But back to reality land out after Dreamland has just been crumbled and Thanos snapped like my camera did on Commanders Kings last night. What if? No, we don't have to do that anymore. We're already done with that. Brian Robinson Jr. will be on the roster, and not only will he be on the roster, he'll be the starting running back week 1. And I need 800 to 1,000 yards out of B-Rob this year. This is Brian Robinson's swan song season with the team. His rookie contract expires after this year, and I don't see them knocking down the doors for an extension for an all right and very expendable and replaceable NFL running back. So with 1 year left, we need to get everything out of the abilities of Brian Robinson Jr. So all Washington fans, hear me when I say this. We all need to ride for 8. We all need to ride for Brian Robinson Jr. and hope we get to see the best of him. He stays healthy and he breaks some runs this year. He catches some passes and he gets in the end zone. If you're not going to give me 800 to 1,000 yards, you know what I need? 10 touchdowns. Give me 10 touchdowns. Be the ultimate short yardage goal line back. In September, 8 is automatic on the goal line. He's automatic in the goal. It's a touchdown every time we get on the goal line if we run the ball to Brian Robinson Jr. before he runs out of gas and before he hits that cliff that he hits around my birthday, which is the middle of October every year. But support Brian Robinson Jr. Let's not run him off his job too soon, but let's promote competition. No, we want JCM to give him some go. We want JCM to make his seat feel hot. We want him to feel like he needs to perform, because if not, we got this young stud ready to hop in the game and get busy, get active, hit holes, jump cuts, get skinny through the hole, and do things we have not seen since old man AP was here. And y'all saw how it ended for old man AP. 2 years in a row was our leading rusher and was a surprise cut because they saw rookie Antonio Gibson, who was transitioning from wide receiver to running back. They saw a little bit of speed. They saw a little bit of fountain of youth, and they said, you know what? Let's move on from this old guy. It happens in the league. It's the business of this league, and there are two extreme sides to this conversation, but I do want fans to stop being so damn sensitive with these players. You're allowed to critique players. You're allowed to want better for players. You don't hate them because you want better. You don't hate them because you want better for your football team. And I want fans to put their big boy and big girl pants on when it comes to this. Y'all don't have to defend these players like y'all are going to sleep next to them at night. You can defend them objectively and also want better from them. I want better from my children every day. I don't want lackluster from them. Don't want lackluster from the favorite players on your favorite team. At the end of the day, we want the team to win. We want team success, and team always comes before player. And we want Brian Robinson to perform in the year of 2025. But that is all I got for right now. Be tuned in a couple hours. I'm going to have my boy Zim Hude from the Cincinnati podcast to preview the Cincinnati Bengals 2025 team roster and preseason matchup versus the Commanders on Monday Night Football coming up. That'll be at about 1:30. Make sure you tune into the channel. We're almost at 20,000 subscribers. We got about 375 subscribers to go to hit 20K. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and get your Commanders Kings live ticket because we're in the 20s left. We only got 20-something tickets left. Make sure you cop those. And if you can't come out to the show, there are 3 tiers on the link that you can donate to the show. Think of it like a super chat. There's a gold tier, a silver tier, and a bronze tier. You don't have to buy a ticket to the show. You can donate to the show. August 24th, doors open at 5 p.m. Me, Ed Oliver, Rico from Street Scores, and Louis T Network. That's all I got for right now. Until next time, or unless any other news drops today, talk soon. Commander Rio, out.